I think that the biggest thing, the most important thing, is thinking about Christ and talking about Christ and being able to talk to people about Christ. You know, that to me is the most important, and that frees me up to do things like this without that fear that I think some other people have, or without that cowardice that I call it, because it is cowardice. You know, whether you like that or not, it really is a form of cowardice. You don't want to look at it. People need help, man. People need your help right now. What our government is doing is real. It's a serious issue. We need the help. And people recognize that. And if what you're saying is true, and they do know, shame on them. You know, shame on you for that. Because that's going to come back to you. It's definitely going to come back to you. And it's going to eat away at you. And I'm telling you, if you just start looking at this and just start taking it seriously, you will feel so much more fulfilled. Because truth makes me feel good. Lying, you know, not being honest with myself when I was trying to be somebody else, that didn't make me feel good. You know, even though other people were telling me that it made me look good, I didn't feel good. I don't care how I look. I want to care how I feel. I want to feel good. You know, helping other people makes me feel good. Doing the right thing, exposing liars. You know, I mean, but September 11th, man, we're talking murder. This is what we're talking about. We're talking murder in the highest.
I think the stuff that's going on now in all of these Middle Eastern countries is as bad as 9/11,
definitely.
really, because every single one of them is NATO, CIA, Mossad forces creating a complete bogus, a false grassroots rebel movement to oust the dictatorship there. It's not about that at all. It's patently false flag operation to eliminate the true sovereignty of all of those nations so that it could be under the aegis of NATO powers and the Rothschild banking consortium. There was Gaddafi was not an ogre. Was not an ogre in the sense of there being a justification, because after all, nothing had changed about him. But he was involved in things which couldn't be. It was a good time to get the go signal on this whole movement here, really, because once our inroads in Iraq and then in Afghanistan.
It's just ridiculous. I just can't believe it, and I can't believe that people are saying that this president is not as bad as Bush. This president is worse than Bush. This president is Bush and more.
There was mind control involved in the campaign. I felt it was a real psyop and mind control thing, even during the campaign. The 2008 campaign.
Where they show Obama with his teleprompter, and then his teleprompter breaks, and he's like, he doesn't know what to say. That's mind control. That's definitely mind control, because you don't do that. You're like, okay, well, I'll keep going. It could be the same form of mind control that you get when you're watching TV. It could be the same form of mind control that you get when you're playing a video game. Or it could be a programmed person, but it is a form of mind control.
They're tinkering with the script a little, and he's a good reader, and they had that little glitch there. My Chinese students in 2004 pointed out to me that it was common knowledge among Chinese during the 2004 campaign season that George W. Bush had a suit coat that was wired with electronics, which was giving him.
Didn't we see the big bulge in the back?
I don't recall seeing anything like that.
I do remember
in fact,
seeing
I
that.
don't recall ever hearing that alleged until I was in China.
I was only watching mainstream news back then, so it was mentioned, and then it was like, and then that was it, and you're like, well, I want to hear more, and they wouldn't give you more. You know, it's like, no, that's all you get. Now eat your vegetables.
Yeah, I felt that there was a nasty flavor in 2008. It was understood that if you were not a racist, you were clearly for Obama, and therefore my reluctance to declare myself for Obama, or even actually I strongly implied that no, I wasn't really, I was a fucking racist, pardon my French. And that's a kind of mind control, really, because I think if people had actually analyzed what were they thinking, it's kind of like, well, wait a minute, has it gotten to the point in America where it's like thought control is such that we have to approve a black candidate just because he's a black candidate? Yeah.
Absolutely not.
That's like saying, don't criticize Israel. That makes you an anti-Semite and
Yeah.
imprisonable
Right.
for that, not only a sin but a crime.
Well, it's two. It should be two totally different things. But that's what the coward says when he's called a coward and everybody sees it. He points back. He points back at everybody else. You know, stay away from that. I try to stay away from that because that's just ugly. It's really ugly when people do that. You're gonna tell me that I'm racist
But people
because I
say-
didn't vote for him? It's racist to if you vote for Obama because he's black. That's racist.
I think so.
I'm not saying that you are racist, but that is a racist thing that you just did. You do not vote for a person because of their skin color. You vote for a person because you believe in what they're saying or because you look at their voting record. And I think if you're not looking at their voting record, don't vote for anybody. If you can't see what they've done in the past, don't vote. There are certain ways, there are certain times that I would say don't vote. If you don't know the candidates, don't vote. But there are also times where you should vote. Where I think that everybody should be voting or should be free to vote or to not vote.
I'm not sure we
Whatever
really
they
know
wanna
the
do.
candidates, no matter what, though, because what
We
we
only
know,
need to know-
what we
we
know
only
is
need
what
to know
they
what
said
they're doing
in
in
response to
Congress.
prompts, which wouldn't have been how we had prompted them,
We
and not
only
only
need to know-
that, but we're basing our reaction not even just to how they responded to that prompt, but how that response gets spun by the mainstream media too.
Well, that's
And
why.
then people are spinning that spin, and it's just like, wait a minute, we already were a couple degrees removed from really getting at what is really his thinking here. Is he just saying a talking point? And really, I'm just analyzing what they're saying to try and discern what constituency is he speaking for now, and trying to, he's trying to dangle a carrot
In front of
for
you.
the Christian, constituency, or for the
Like when
Hispanic
I
constituency.
think it was
or whatever.
Hillary Clinton. Hillary Clinton went back to her home and started talking all country, something like that. You cater to your own hometown. You cater to this guy's what they want. You make everybody seem you're gonna give them what they want. But if we start looking at how they vote and then look at what they say, and if they don't match, you shouldn't vote for that person. That person is a liar. You should not vote for any liars. So,
Well, Ron Paul looks unusual. He just sticks out for sure. So he's
That's
certainly
actually-
interesting to watch.
yeah, sure. I mean,
There's
but
a level of
there's
integrity
many.
about there's a thematic integrity about his career.
Sure.
Aside from anything else you might want to say, I noticed that about him.
Yeah.
And you can't say that about any of the other candidates.
No, you can't.
Not at all. Paul Ryan or whatever is
Yeah,
my
I would-
example.
I would think that there's probably more that the good politicians, the ones who are just humble, do their own thing. We're not going to hear about those ones. We usually hear about a lot of the more crazy ones, a lot of the more mental ones, the ones that are not very very stable, the ones that are running everything for some reason.